All right, get ready for a wild one today, because we are diving into the Wall Street Bets daily discussion thread.
Oh yeah, buckle up.
We're on a mission to decode what's driving market sentiment and uncover the hottest stock picks, according to the WSB crew.
You know, I love this stuff. It's like stepping into a different universe full of, well, rocket emojis and diamond hands.
It's electric in here. Right from the get-go, you can feel this, almost tangible wave of bullish energy.
Oh, absolutely.
People are throwing out predictions like SPY 600 EOD. Are they guaranteeing the S&P 500 will hit 600 by the end of the day?
I mean, that's the kind of confidence you see on WSB. They're not afraid to go big or go home.
And you've got users like busting a fat-ass nut at open. You can't help but get caught up in the hype.
It's contagious, isn't it? That raw, unfiltered enthusiasm for the markets. It's what WSB is all about.
Okay, so we've got the bulls painting the town green, but let's flip the script.
All right, turning the page.
Are there any voices of reason, any, whispers of doubt in this sea of bullishness?
Well, beneath the surface of all those rocket emojis, there are definitely some underlying bearish anxieties bubbling up.
Ooh, bearish anxieties. Tell me more.
Some users are understandably a little concerned about the state of the economy.
Makes sense.
I mean, the manufacturing sector has now contracted for 5 months straight. That's got to make you wonder.
Not a good sign. What else? What else has got people feeling a little uncertain?
There's this sense that maybe, just maybe, the market is a tad overvalued after that recent rally. What goes up must come down, right? And some users are definitely bracing themselves for a potential correction, or a reality check, if you will. You've got comments like, day 588 of the fake melt-up. The rug pull has to be getting close.
Rug pull, that's WSB lingo for a sudden market downturn, right? I always wondered about that one.
Exactly. And those burrs, those are the ones who are, let's say, less than optimistic about the market's trajectory.
The ones betting on the rug pull. Got it. So basically a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. Classic market drama.
Always. Another bearish comment that caught my eye. SPY go to $579, you degenerate. They're not pulling any punches.
Wow. Someone's not a fan of the S&P 500 today. But hold on a sec. Didn't Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing TSM have a pretty stellar earnings report today?
They did. TSM is definitely throwing a wrench into the bearish narrative. Their positive earnings are like a beacon of hope in the darkness, and you can see that reflected in the comments.
How so?
Things like TSM, an absolute monster earn, and TSM saved the market are popping up all over the thread.
So TSM, a potential market savior. I like the sound of that. But with all these conflicting signals, it makes you wonder, are these WSB traders just riding waves of emotion, or are they actually placing calculated bets based on a deeper understanding of market dynamics? What do you think?
That, my friend, is the million-dollar question, and it's one we'll be unpacking throughout this deep dive.
Stay tuned, because things are about to get very interesting. This whole TSM situation has really got me thinking. Maybe, just maybe, these individual stock discussions, these little microcosms of hype and analysis, maybe they hold the key to understanding where the market's headed next. What do you think?
I'm with you on that one. It's like each stock has its own little narrative unfolding on WSB, its own unique blend of catalysts and controversies.
Catalysts, controversies, I like it. So which stock is leading the charge today, the one everyone's buzzing about?
Well, amidst all those rocket emojis and diamond hands, one name keeps popping up. NVDA. It's like every other comment is either praising its AI dominance or, get this, bracing for a potential downfall.
NVDA, the AI darling. Not surprising to see that name at the top of the list, but what you just described, those are two completely different narratives.
Welcome to WSB, my friend, where volatility reigns supreme. You've got some users going all in on NVDA, predicting, and I quote, NVDA 142 EOD.
Wow, $142 by the end of the day. That's a bold prediction. Someone's feeling bullish.
Bullish on steroids. But then, on the flip side...
Let me guess, the bears are lurking.
Oh, they're definitely circling. You've got comments like, get out of NVDA while you can, hinting at a bubble about to burst. It's like a real-life financial thriller unfolding right before our eyes.
Talk about a cliffhanger. Will NVDA soar to new heights on the wings of the AI boom? Or are we headed for a reality check? Only time will tell.
Okay, so we've got NVDA, our volatile superstar. Who else is stealing the show on WSB today?
Well, no WSB conversation would be complete without the good old S&P 500 SPY. Even amidst all the individual stock hype, people are still placing their bets on the overall direction of the market.
Ah, SPY, the OG index, the granddaddy of them all. So what's the sentiment towards SPY? Are people still riding that bullish wave we talked about earlier?
You'd think so, right? With all those rocket emojis and to-the-moon comments. But here's where things get interesting. While some are definitely still feeling the bullish vibes, others are taking a more, shall we say, contrarian approach.
Contrarian. Intriguing. Give me the details.
One user even mentioned putting a cool $330,000 into SPY puts. That's right, they're betting against the market. Whoa, $330,000 on SPY puts? That's a bold move, Cotton. What's the strategy there? Are they hedging their bets, or do they know something we don't?
That's the beauty of WSB, my friend. It's open to interpretation. Are they making a calculated play, or are they just trying to stir the pot? Only they know for sure. But one thing's for certain, it adds a whole new layer of complexity to the conversation.
High stakes, high reward. That's the WSB way. All right, who else is on our watch list today? Give me another hot stock that's got everyone talking.
Next up, we've got Tesla, TSLA, and let me tell you, the sentiment surrounding Elon Musk's baby is a roller coaster ride in itself.
Tesla, always a wild card. What are people saying? Are they feeling the Tesla love, or is it more of a love-hate relationship these days?
Well, some users are clearly frustrated with Tesla's recent performance, particularly its sideways movement. We're seeing comments like, and I quote, Tesla crab G5 is basically saying it's moving sideways like a crab instead of making any real progress.
Ouch, Tesla crab G5s. I love it. Brutally honest, but hey, that's WSB for you.
And then there's TSLA, so trash. Another comment that doesn't mince words. Clearly, some investors are losing patience with Tesla's inability to break out.
Those are some harsh words for a company that was once the darling of the tech world. But hey, the market is a fickle beast, isn't it? Is there any hope for a Tesla turnaround in sight?
There's always hope on WSB. Even amidst all the negativity, you have a few diehard Tesla bulls holding on to the belief that a breakout is just around the corner. Whether that's wishful thinking or based on some insider knowledge, well, that's for you to decide.
I'm adding TSLA to my watch list, if only for the sheer entertainment value. All right, what else is grabbing people's attention on WSB today?
Let's shift gears and talk about Alibaba. There's definitely a cloud of skepticism surrounding this Chinese e-commerce giant.
Baba, interesting. What's fueling the hesitancy? Are people shying away from Chinese stocks in general these days?
That seems to be part of it. There are broader concerns about the Chinese economy right now, and some investors are understandably hesitant to jump into that market.
Geopolitical uncertainty, always a factor in the world of investing. And with Baba being such a major player in the Chinese market, it's understandable that people would be a little cautious. And you're particularly telling comments about Baba's fate.
One user boldly predicts Baba going sub $90 next week, which reflects the overall pessimistic sentiment.
Wow, sub $90. That's quite a drop. It sounds like Baba might be one for the risk takers out there, those who thrive on volatility and uncertainty. Who's our final contender in this battle of the tickers?
Last but not least, we have Netflix, NFLX, and it's generating quite the buzz as its earnings report approaches. Anticipation is running high.
NFLX, the streaming giant. Earnings season is always a spectacle, and with a company like Netflix, the stakes are even higher. What are the predictions looking like? Bullish, bearish, or somewhere in between?
It's a fascinating mix of speculation and analysis as always. You have some users leaning towards a surge, pointing to Netflix's recent content slate and subscriber growth. Others are anticipating a potential drop, citing increased competition in the streaming wars. It's a real nail-biter.
A classic case of to stream or not to stream? That is the question. Any comments that really capture this back and forth?
Oh, absolutely. One comment that caught my eye reads, with so many obvious puts on NFLX, I feel more confident the stock will go up.
Interesting. So they're betting against the prevailing sentiment, going against the grain. That's a bold move. What's the logic there?
It speaks to the psychological element of trading, especially on a platform like WSB, where herd mentality can be a powerful force. If everyone's betting one way, there's a temptation to zig when others zag, to try and outsmart the crowd and capitalize on the unexpected.
It's amazing, isn't it? The sheer amount of information, speculation, wild predictions, it's all there in those stock discussions.
It's a gold mine, really. You've got those gut-feeling YOLO traders rubbing shoulders with people, doing some serious technical analysis, poring over earnings reports, the whole spectrum.
It definitely challenges the stereotype of WSB being just a bunch of, meme-obsessed gamblers.
Oh, for sure. Don't get me wrong, the memes are alive and well, but there's this real desire to learn, to understand the market, to outsmart the system even.
Speaking of which, we're going to circle back to the main event, the daily discussion thread itself. It's a wild ride, that's for sure, but you mentioned earlier there are valuable insights hidden within the chaos, like
Sure.
actual diamonds in the rough.
Oh, absolutely. It's just, you got to know where to look, you know? It's about learning to separate the signal from the noise, tune out the distractions, and focus on the substance, those real-time observations, the trading strategies, those genuine nuggets of wisdom that emerge from the collective mind of WSB.
So it's like panning for gold. You got to sift through a lot of dirt to find the treasure.
That's a great analogy. You really do. Let me give you an example. One comment that stood out to me hinted at a potential rotation from growth to value stocks.
Oh, okay, tell me more. How'd they phrase that in WSB lingo?
Well, they kept it pretty simple, saying, value stocks are tied from yesterday's run. Like, I need a break, boss. Not exactly Wall Street Journal-worthy prose, but...
Hey, it gets the point across. I like it.
Oh.
So reading between the lines, they're sensing a shift in momentum, a potential opportunity in those undervalued stocks.
Yeah.
What else stood out to you? Any other golden nuggets?
There were a few comments, and this is interesting, expressing concern about a potential market correction. And they specifically pointed to NVIDIA's recent performance as a potential trigger.
Oh, wow. Even WSB is feeling cautious about NVDA's hot streak. What are they saying?
One user said, this entire sub probably has NVDA calls at fucking H, and you seriously thought they would let them print. I think you can guess what H refers to, and print meaning.
Let those calls expire in the money, make a profit. Yeah, I'm familiar with the lingo.
Yeah.
So they're suggesting that the market makers, the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes, might manipulate the price to prevent those calls from paying out. That's a bold accusation.
It is, and whether you buy into the conspiracy theory or not, it just goes to show that the WSB community is not naive. They're aware of the forces at play, the unseen hands that can influence market movements. They know it's not always a level playing field.
It's easy to dismiss WSB as, reckless gamblers. But it sounds like they have a surprisingly sophisticated understanding of how the market works, both the technicals and the psychology of it all.
Right. They're paying attention, connecting the dots, trying to anticipate the next big move.
That's a great takeaway for our listeners. So, as we emerge from the depths of the WSB rabbit hole, what have we learned today?
That WSB is more than just memes and YOLO trades, right? It's a dynamic community of people all trying to navigate the market, to make sense of it, to maybe even make a buck or two.
And by tapping into that collective intelligence, that constant stream of observations and analysis, we can gain valuable insights into what's driving the market where it's headed. Information is power, and sometimes the most unexpected sources can be the most valuable.
Exactly.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of Wall Street bets. Until next time, keep an eye on those trends, stay informed,